We were meant to be. Until betrayal tore us apart. The night I realized everything was about to change didn't feel dramatic, and that's what made it terrifying. There was no thunder shaking the sky, no argument erupting in the room, no slammed doors or raised voices tearing through the quiet. There was only silence. A heavy, suffocating silence that pressed against my chest and made every breath feel deliberate, as though my body needed permission to inhale. I lay there beside her, staring at the ceiling we'd stared at together for years, listening to the slow, steady rhythm of her breathing. That sound used to calm me. It used to mean safety. That night it felt distant, unfamiliar, like she was already somewhere else, like her body. Her body was beside me, but her heart had quietly slipped out of the room without saying goodbye. We had been together for 7 years. 7 years of shared mornings and late nights, inside jokes that made no sense to anyone else, routines so familiar they felt permanent. We met when life was simpler, when love felt like something you grew into naturally, not something you had to constantly fight, to protect. Back when the future felt wide open and forgiving. She used to smile at me and say, "We're meant to be." And I believed her. Not because I was naive, but because she once showed me what that meant. We weren't perfect. We argued. We misunderstood each other. We had seasons where communication felt harder than it should. But we were steady, or at least I thought we were. The first changes didn't arrive loudly. They never do. They slipped in quietly, almost politely, subtle enough to doubt, small enough to dismiss. She started guarding her phone like it carried secrets too dangerous to be seen, tilting the screen away when I walked past, locking it when she left the room, even for a minute, smiling at messages she wouldn't explain. When I asked, she laughed, light and effortless, the way someone laughs when they know the truth and hope you don't dig deeper. "You're overthinking," she said. "You always do that. You're imagining things." And I wanted to believe her because trusting her felt easier than confronting the fear quietly tightening in my chest. Her schedule changed. Late nights became normal. Work dinners, team meetings. She'd come home tired but not drained, exhausted yet oddly energized, like someone who had been somewhere they wanted to be. She stopped asking about my day, stopped noticing the little details she once remembered without effort. She stopped touching me without a reason. Not completely, just enough to make the absence noticeable. I noticed the small things first, the way she no longer leaned into me on the sofa. How her laughter felt rehearsed, like a performance rather than a reaction. How she sighed when I entered the room, as if my presence interrupted something internal. Still, I said nothing. Because love has a dangerous way of convincing you that silence is patience, when sometimes it's just fear disguised as understanding. The betrayal didn't come with a confession. It came with a moment. An ordinary evening that changed everything. She forgot her tablet at home. It buzzed on the kitchen counter while I was making tea, the sound sharp and sudden, slicing through the quiet. I didn't mean to look. I swear I didn't. But her name wasn't on the screen. It was a man's, and the message was simple. Last night was worth the risk. The room tilted. The room tilted, not violently, just enough to make everything feel wrong. Like gravity had shifted, and my body hadn't caught up yet. My hands shook as I opened the thread, not searching, not digging, just confirming what my heart already knew. Photos, conversations, plans. They talked about me like I was a temporary obstacle, a problem to manage, a delay they'd eventually outgrow. And then I saw it. She wrote, "He doesn't suspect a thing." That sentence hurt more than everything else combined, because I had suspected. I had felt it in my bones. I had carried the unease quietly, chosen trust over fear, love over confrontation. And she knew. When she came home that night, I didn't confront her. I watched her move through the house like nothing had changed. She kissed me on the cheek, asked what we were having for dinner, and complained about traffic. I smiled. I nodded. Inside, something broke without making a sound. I didn't cry. Not then. That night, I lay awake beside her, listening to her breathe, wondering how someone could sleep so peacefully while dismantling another person's world. By morning, the shock had hardened into something colder. Not rage, clarity. And in that clarity, I realized something important. If she thought I didn't know, then I had time. I didn't change overnight. That was intentional. I became calmer, kinder, more present than I'd been in months. I listened more, asked questions, smiled at the right moments. She relaxed. People always do when they think they've won. I paid attention instead, to patterns, to names, to timelines. I learned who he was, where they met, how long it had been going on. A colleague, married, ambitious, careful but not careful enough. I never followed them. Never spied. I didn't need to. They documented their own downfall beautifully. While she believed everything was under control, I quietly disentangled my life from hers. I updated documents, made plans, and prepared to strike. She noticed my calm. "You seem different," she said one evening, her tone curious, almost suspicious. I smiled and said, "Just trying to be better." That wasn't a lie. I started going to the gym again, sleeping better, thinking clearer. Pain has a strange way of sharpening focus when you don't waste it on chaos. Meanwhile, her world began to wobble. The man she thought was her escape started pulling away. His wife started receiving some indirect hints. She was asking questions. His work performance started slipping too. I didn't push. I waited. When she complained about her colleague being distant, I listened. When she was stressed, I supported her. There is a particular kind of irony in comforting someone who doesn't know they're about to lose everything. I never exposed her directly. I simply made sure the truth reached the people who deserved it, calmly, factually, without emotion. No accusations, no drama, just evidence. Silence does more damage than shouting ever could. Her relationship collapsed first. He was getting heat on every side, so had to pull back. But that didn't save his marriage. Then his reputation was tarnished after the reason for his divorce got out. And suddenly she was alone, confused, afraid. She came home one night with red eyes and a shaking voice and said, "I think I made a mistake." I looked at her. Really looked at her and realized the woman I loved was already gone. She hadn't lost me yet, but she was about to. I ended it on a quiet afternoon. No raised voices, no accusations. I told her I knew. I watched the color drain from her face as reality finally arrived. She cried, apologized, blamed confusion, claimed love. I didn't interrupt. When she finished, I said only what mattered. "I loved you honestly," I said, "and that deserved honesty in return." Then I walked away. She lost the relationship she thought she'd outgrown, the future she assumed would wait, the version of herself she could live with. I gained something else. Peace. Healing took time. It always does. Some nights were heavy. Some memories still ached. But I never regretted the way I handled it. Because revenge isn't about destruction. It's about reclaiming yourself. Today, I trust my instincts. I value my time. I love without fear, but never without self-respect. And sometimes, late at night, I think about that version of me lying awake in the dark, listening to her breathe, feeling something was wrong. I wish I could tell him this. You weren't weak for trusting. You weren't foolish for loving, and you didn't lose her. You outgrew the lie. Some betrayals don't break you. They free you, and that is the quiet victory no one ever sees.